We love you, Queen.
We love you, Queen.
We're in your corner, and we've got you, and I will anybody up who's like trying to with anything with you guys.
Catfight! I hear that that's disrespectful, so I ain't gonna say that. We got Megyn Kelly, who fires back at Charlize Theron over saying that she's gonna whip people's tails who talk about drag people.
Hollywood decided that they needed to hold a telethon, not for the kids with muscular dystrophy, not for the victims of Ukraine, but this time it was for the drag queens. It was for drag queens. Hollywood held a Drag Isn't Dangerous telethon, and they raised over $500,000.
They are really running this play. Oh my gracious. It has to be extremely, like, clearly this is for the money. Don't y'all see that this is all about the money? That's all it's about. It's about the cash, bruh. And we're trying to, I don't know why they are making such a huge play for it. But let me say this. It's still a whole lot I don't know about the drag community. And guess why? Because I don't go looking into it. It makes me feel like weird, bruh. You know what I mean? So the stuff that I do learn, I learned from watching conversations between certain people who are having conversations with people in the drag community, or Ben Shapiro, or Matt Walsh, and Jesse Lee Peterson, you know, those type of people. But other than that, man, I only know what shows. I don't get why they go so hard for the money, though.
To save the drag queens. No, it's not going to our military, right? Like, this is great. You could help kids with autism. We could go down the list. No, this is for the drag queens. And among those who spoke out about this was actress Charlize Theron, who obviously I don't know, but I feel like I have some weird connection to this person because she played me in a movie. And I was aware that she had one child who she says is trans. She says the child's been trans since age 3, and they transitioned him from male to female, quote unquote. They transitioned him. And listen to Charlize Theron speaking out about this. Satsa.
We love you, Queen.
We love you, Queen.
We're in your corner, and we've got you, and I will anybody up who's like trying to with anything with you guys.
She said what she said. Megyn Kelly, are you gonna pull up on her? Because she's saying to you and all three of them, all the other 2 women that are on this panel, that she will whip y'all ass. All right? She said what she said.
It's really, in all seriousness, there's so many things that are hurting and really killing our kids. And we all know what I'm talking about right now. And it ain't no drag queen, because if you've ever seen a drag queen lip sync for her life,
Yep.
it only makes you happier. It only makes you love more. It makes you a better person.
If you only seen a drag queen lip sync for their life, So you mean to tell me there's people out there saying, you better sing this song, you better sing it like you wrote it, I'm gonna kill your dad. And they just, thriller night, and want you that morning, and fight, you're just a thriller. Ooh. And they just going off because they know that if I don't sing this song and dress up like a woman, then you're going to kill me. Is that what you're saying? I doubt that's happening. But I do want to understand why they feel so threatened. Because they're making it seem like people are just going around just taking drag people up out of here. Like, okay, there's a drag person, let's kill him. There's a drag person, let's kill him. And there's a drag person, let's kill him. Is that what they're saying is happening?
Okay. So why doesn't Charlize Theron come and me up? Because I'm 100% against her on this. Yes, there's fun drag queen shows. I've been to them. When I lived in Chicago, we went to one that was super fun. It was all adults. But there are drag queen shows out there right now that are deeply disturbing, and they're happening in front of young children. So know what you're supporting. Understand what we're actually seeing out there, which can include absolutely the grooming of young children. Even she should be against that, trans kid or not. Sarah, you've done great reporting on this. You actually, was it last year or the year before, but you got some dark video of one such incident. We've got a bit of it. I'm going to show it, and then you can explain what it is we're seeing. All right, so I'll explain to the audience. It's a drag queen person, and you tell us what this person is doing, Sarah.
Yes, he is throwing his dress, his skirt up to reveal a cat on his underwear. I'm sure you can make the connotation there. And the important point to note is that you see the child, the young child behind him. He's actually dancing to a song that includes the P word over and over and over again, talking about how good it is, talking about how sweet it is, talking about how people want to F this person's P. And they are doing it all, of course, in front of this young child. And that honestly was the most grotesque song choice that they used during that event, but it wasn't the raunchiest behavior that I saw that day. So this was October of last year. And I have an organization called Defend Our Kids Texas. And you would think in Texas, we wouldn't have to form an organization dedicated to stopping the sexualization of children of all states, Texas, but we had to. And so I went in to this brunch. It did say on the original form, all ages are welcome. It did say, we get a little raunchy, so be advised, but all ages are welcome. And so I went in and I said, I know I'm going to see at least one child here. And of course, there she was. They were handing out vibrators as part of their gifts. They were, there was one of the drag queens who was wearing a incredibly revealing outfit, very sheer. You could see the bottom of her breasts, just barely covering her nipples. And this is what is happening in, I really feel like I have to emphasize this, Megyn. I grew up in this area. This is Plano, Texas. This is like suburbia, right? This is what you would think to be a very...
Blame the dumbass parents. How about that? That's it. Blame the dumbass parents. That's what I say. I'm not blaming these drag queens and drag kings and drag whoever's they want to call themselves. I'm not blaming them for this. Here's the thing. I can open a liquor store and say all ages are welcome, right? And then it will be up to parents to make sure that the children are not coming in there and indulging. There's a bunch of people out here who sell things on a day-to-day basis to kids, and the parents just allow them to have at it. Go get it. Even sweets. If you're thinking about like sweets, you know how detrimental that is to kids if they eat it in abundance, and they do it anyway. But parents don't give a damn. Some parents do. And for the parents that do, you can tell by when you see them kids and you see them smile, and you see that they're taking care of themselves, and all of the kids, like my family, for instance, my wife made sure that my kids all had braces, retainers, and all that other crap, made sure that they didn't eat a certain thing too much so that they can take care of their teeth, and that they, you know what I mean? And that does happen. I mean, that does help for them, and that builds some type of confidence in them when they smile and they talk to people, and so parents have to make sure that these kids are not going to these places. And if the parents are bringing their kids to these places, then it's the parents' fault. Yeah, the drag people, they're saying, look, come in here and watch us dance like women, and we're going to sometimes, show you our draws, and we're going to play some raunchy music. Well, y'all already know what's going on in here. But you bringing your kids in here, can kids walk in there by themselves without an adult? Now, if kids can walk in there without an adult and just see this type of behavior, I will actually have an issue with that part as well. But the parents, they need to get a bigger blame of this, man, because some people don't give a damn what they feed their kids. As long as their kids are happy, they'd tell their kids any damn thing. Oh, you're 12 years old or you're 10 years old and you want to be like them and you want to transition, then we're going to do it tomorrow. We're going to skip school and we're going to make sure we go cut off what we need to cut off tomorrow, because those parents are weak. They're weak-minded, and they're buying into this fantasy land of make-believe, and they don't want to grow up. They are all Toys R Us kids, basically, and they don't give a damn. And those same parents, they are voters, and they're voting to make it legal for them to make sure that they do these things to their kids. They're removing all guardrails from their kids. That's it. They're removing all guardrails from their kids. So that's why a lot of people consider them the P word, the grown-ups that mess with kids.
Red, very conservative, very reasonable when it comes to children area. And yet I went there and I saw this young child being exploited and being sexually abused. And this is what I try to tell people. This is not a parental rights issue. This is a child abuse issue. This is the sexual exploitation and abuse of children. You are infecting their young mind that is not ready to process such images, such language, and you're infiltrating their minds with this. Of course, it's going to affect them mentally. And so we're fighting it here in Texas, but it's just disgusting how they've turned this drag queen thing into such a cultish behavior. Drag queens are not under attack. All we're doing is simply asking them, please stop doing this in front of children. You would think that it wouldn't be controversial. It wasn't controversial 5 minutes ago to say, stop sexualizing our children.
Children are their fan base, and they're getting permission from their parents to have their kids. They're getting permission. They're dipping their toe in the water. They're inviting all, kids included, but they're actually, in my opinion, preferring to have all kids. And that's sad, but guess what? Parents have to say, hell no. The parents have to see through the BS. If the parents don't see through the BS, man, hell in the handbasket, yeah.
You're so right. I agree with every word you just said.
Thank you, Megyn. I appreciate that. You know, I haven't had anybody say that to me in a long daggone time.
And I've said this, like, remember when Carrie Lake was running in Arizona and they tried to make a thing out of the fact that she, as an adult, had seen a drag queen. Meanwhile, she was objecting to drag queens in schools. It's not the same thing. They conflate it because apparently allowing drag queens to perform in front of little children is really important to them. Yeah. Otherwise, why would they conflate these two issues rather than just ceding the one and defending the right of adults to perform as they want in front of other willing adults? It can be a fun thing. Bachelorette parties, go out and see a drag queen show. It's with a cocktail in a bar where it's only people above 21, fine, whatever. There may be some people who care, but no one's really targeting that.
Here's the thing. Everything we know to be evil, go ahead and name it. Anything that you know to be evil, people are targeting children for that thing. That same thing. They're targeting children. Why? Because they are the future. And in order to shape the future, you have to have the future look like what you want it to look like. They want the kids to believe that this thing is not only acceptable, but this will make you a better person, a more brave person. Like when somebody transitions, they're brave. You know what I mean? That's what people say. Oh, you're brave. You're so brave because you transitioned. They're letting kids know that this is brave. They have trans type of programs at schools now. They're obviously they're having events outside of schools, restaurants, bars, where they're inviting people to bring their kids, and people are bringing their kids. And it starts by the ones and the twos. I even seen one where it was a man dressed up like a woman. It was a few of them, and they was at a toddler's party. It was nothing but toddlers. I'm talking about people that just started wearing pull-ups. You know what I mean? And they had some women there holding their babies who haven't even gotten to that point yet. And you have these men dancing and lip syncing their lives away, like they said. I guess that was the entertainment for the day. That's grabbing them very early, letting them know this is the place to be. Women, I'm going to say this, women, y'all need to wake the hell up. Please do that for me. I love women. I think women should be protected at all costs. But a lot of this stuff is passing because you women are allowing it to. There's no other way to look at it. If women didn't fight for this to be a thing, it wouldn't go through. You got to understand, these drag queens are heavily invested into being a woman in public, performing as a woman in public. But they want to perform as a woman that you know is a man, so there can be some type of sick twist to it, and the women actually make it go. Like, how many times will you be in the room filled with heterosexual males who will say, I went to some drag shows a couple of times. It was absolutely fun. You might be in a couple, probably you might talk to a couple men that may say that because they're just that free with themselves. But for the most part, you will hear heterosexual women say that they've gone to drag shows and they were fun. They've supported. Megyn Kelly said it too. I've went to drag shows and they were fun. I had a good time. Me and my friends, we saw the drag queens and we was like, hey, go girl, get it girl. Y'all was supporting it. But then when it goes too far, then you want to stop supporting it. Isn't that usually how it go? Well, it was entertainment for me. Well, you were giving into the debauchery. You were giving into the illness of these people. You were making them think that this was a good thing, especially if you're paying a fee in order to go see them. And while you're there, you're tipping them in the process, letting them know that what you're doing is above and beyond entertaining. Like, this is amazing. Thank you so much. Megyn Kelly just now said she did the same thing. This is what a lot of women do. A lot of women will set it up and be like, yeah, I'm supporting it. I love it. But then when it goes too far, then you want to back up off. No, you can't do that. It can't be that way. Sorry, it cannot be that way. This right here, as soon as women shut it down, it's shut down. But if women don't shut it down, please, it's moving forward. I'm gonna have the rest of this video in the link in the descriptions below. I'm gonna need for y'all to go check it out if you like. These three beautiful women are having a conversation about something that's very near and dear to you and your families and your futures and a whole lot of other things.